Welcome back to another episode of Talk Movies. This week, joining me is Ian, aka the Film Pundit, and we are talking about the second movie in Christopher Nolan's Dark Knight trilogy, The Dark Knight from 2008, widely recognised as, or considered, the best comic book movie ever. And I think Ian might agree with that. And I might be there with him as well, but we're going to discuss that. So Ian, let's get going. What's your first memories of The Dark Knight?
I remember going to see it in the cinema, 2008 when it released. Loved it. I wasn't, before it came out though, I wasn't a huge fan of the Heath Ledger casting like a lot of people. Like I
Yeah.
wasn't, I was smaller brain at that period, I think. I don't know. But like as soon as that Why So Serious poster came out, I was like sold. Super
Aye.
excited by the
Marketing was great.
prospect of this new Joker incarnation. Marketing was amazing for them
Yeah.
back then. But yeah, I was totally blown away by this movie. So yeah, what about yourself?
So I was actually in Florida with my wife at the time, and
Oh yeah, I think you've told me this story before. Yeah.
and so I was big on this after watching Batman Begins. I was like, I'm fully all in. Like, I was huge into that. I love Batman. Batman's probably my favorite superhero, and I was just like, yes, let's get it. I couldn't wait. So my wife was like, well, we'll go and see it. And we went to see it in an IMAX screen in Florida on International Drive. And it was actually quite empty, believe it or not. At opening, it was the Sunday or the Monday, maybe the Monday afternoon after it came out. And I have to say, like, I've got a good story about this. I think I've told you it before, but I absolutely loved it. It was amazing. But like, see the scene where Gordon catches the Joker, and then it cuts to black. One of the people in the crowd stood up and clapped, and then realised there was like another hour of the movie left, and sat back down. And I love that. And my first memory of the movie is kind of like there's like 2 or 3 points throughout the movie where you think this could end here, and then it goes again and does something else, and I love that. But yeah, that's kind of my first memory. And as you say, the marketing was amazing. I remember there was a website they did with like the Joker stuff and all that on it. I always remember that. And but yeah, no, I was like, I was waiting on this for 3 years basically. Like I was proper waiting on it.
Yeah, I don't think I was as big as you were on it at that point. Even the internet, I wasn't a huge, like, I wasn't on Facebook, I wasn't on anything like that, so I wasn't like getting any of this stuff online. But obviously, I seen the posters and that's what brought me in. But yeah, I should probably say a disclaimer here. This is my favourite movie of all time, so and I picked it.
Yeah, this is Ian's
So
pick this week.
aye. And then in 2008, I was like, a lover of movies. Like, I loved like a blockbuster and a popular movie. But after this, that just made me consume so many different movies. So
Yeah.
this is where I became a lover of all different types of movies after this. It was this like set the tone going forward for me. So like I wanted to see everything Nolan had directed, everything the cast was in, everything that inspired them, everything that David Goyer wrote and inspired
Yeah,
him
David
and all
Goyer.
that. You know, it was just everything. It was like a big spider web from then. It was just like
Yeah.
amazing.
See, so I really get into like watching movies, and as you say, like the cinematography and how they make it and how they do that, probably in my early to mid 20s and right about just before this. But I say I was just when I seen David Goyer was part of like the trilogy and all that, that was kind of why I went to see Batman Begins, because he had helped write Blade and stuff like that. So I'd kind of got quite hyped for it. But again, I worked in a cinema when Batman Begins came out, so I seen that probably way too many times. I've seen the last half hour of it about 1,000 times, and yeah, this one was just phenomenal. Like this is one of a handful of movies for me where I've been so looking forward to it, and it delivered. Like that's like you could probably there isn't many movies where you kind of build it up in your head and then you go and see it and it delivers on that. Like I think that the Odyssey didn't deliver for me this year. Like I thought it was good but not great. Like that was and I was proper hyped for it because I'm a Nolan fanboy. But I think it's a run of the mill Nolan movie. Not a bad movie by any shot, but it's a run of the mill movie. It's not. It's not
in my top 5 of his, but it's still great. Like I love his movies, so I think you're a wee bit less. Like I give 5 stars a bit more than than you do.
Yes, it
but
takes
even when I've got problems,
yeah.
But even when I've got problems with things, I still I can get over them and still really enjoy a movie, and that's what I was like with the Odyssey. There was like a few. I've done a TikTok on it, but I've not posted it yet. But there's loads of different things that kind of annoyed me, so that means that it's lower in my ranking of his movies. But I still had a great time watching it. So
yeah, I'm the same. I do think they could have made it shorter, but I appreciate that what they were trying to do, but it feels like it was either it should have been 2 movies or cut in length and just skip some of the stuff that they did. But anyway, back to The Dark Knight. Let's go through what we love about this movie. Should we start at the beginning, I guess? Because I think...
We could do, but I think there's one main thing that I think makes this movie.
Okay, I'll let you go with that.
The villain.
Yes, he is.
It's the king of dad jokes. Heath Ledger is the Joker.
Yeah.
It's absolutely. I just think it's the best part of the movie. Like his performance, even though he's only in it for like, I can't remember how much he's actually in it.
He's maybe only got about 50 minutes screen time or something.
But he was slated for it beforehand as well, and he delivered so much from that. He just annihilated anybody that insulted his casting. It proved so many people wrong. So.
On the early internet, I think I was one of the few that was like, I quite like this casting. I think I was like, this is far left field, but I was like, oh, I like this casting. He was still a kind of unknown entity as an actor. Yes, he had done like Brokeback Mountain and stuff like that. I think everyone knew he could act, but I was like, I think he could. He's going to surprise. But that was my thought was I think he might surprise people, and he did. I think he's absolutely tremendous. One of the notes I've got about the Joker, just in general, is I love how he fluctuates his voice, where he's being playful, he's kind of normal, and then when he's being and then he goes like very much like Batman and Bruce Wayne, in terms of how the voice changes. He's like, and I love that how he tells the stories. About his the scars on his face and stuff like that, and but yeah, no, he is absolutely phenomenal in this. I guess I've got a few scenes that I love him in that we could probably touch on.
Yeah.
So I think the interrogation scene, he completely outshines Christian Bale there, and it's not even close, which is a scary thing to say. Because Bale is excellent in this.
He is.
But he is phenomenal in this. He's like, you've got nothing, all your muscle, everything, blah, blah. You've got nothing to hurt me. And I still wonder, you might know this actually, see how he bangs his head on one of the windows and it cracks? Did that actually happen? Or is it?
I don't know. But
or was it planned?
I think it was probably planned, but he did say, or I did read that he was basically saying, hit me as hard as you think you can. Get away with hitting me, basically.
Yeah.
So
he
was
hit me.
actually taking hits. So,
yeah.
During that scene. So, but I don't know about the window. I think they couldn't really do that probably because obviously he would have started bleeding. Probably. So
it's hard to tell when you see it. It's as if his hand goes up as well. So it's maybe triggered. So it's maybe triggered from behind that. Obviously, someone's got a little thing and it just goes like that. You obviously don't know how many times they'll have to film that right enough, but yeah, I've seen them do it before with obviously when people jump through windows and stuff like that. They explode
Shatter
it
it beforehand.
Just literally at the split second they hit it, and it means they just go right through it without really hurting themselves or anything. But yeah, no, like that interrogation scene, he just outshines Christian Bale by a country mile, and he's that scene, and then obviously the penthouse scene as well.
What, when he's upside down in it?
No, when he's in the Bruce Wayne's penthouse.
Yeah.
The Harvey Dent money phone or whatever they call it. The Harvey Dent money razor, but he's brilliant in that, and I love and that's where he does the voice quite a lot, where he goes like up and down and all that. I loved all that, and I guess the last one's the pencil.
With the mob. That's good as well. It's one of my favourite ones as well. I've got a few, but I think that my one that I mentioned there was where he's hanging upside down. I think that one for me, the camera work, the lighting, the script, the back and forward, the way that Batman has no idea what he's planning and what he's done. It's but he steals the show. It's like Batman has nothing to really go with because he's got this plan. He's created this chaotic environment, and then Batman's just like either angry or he's confused. So like Christian Bale's not got that much to work with, but Heath Ledger has so much, and he delivers so much.
Yeah, you complete me. Like he's like and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's brilliant. Yeah.
I think every scene he's in is absolutely brilliant. The pencil scene I do enjoy. I think that's really your yes, you get an introduction to him in the opening scene, and we'll maybe come back to that. But I think that's the first true introduction to him, like what he is as a character and stuff like that.
Because he's not saying anything for that whole introduction. The intro scene or the prologue, you call it, I think. He's not saying anything until like the last couple of lines or whatever. But
that's the first one where you really get to see him, and you understand how
his humour and his laugh and everything, and his demeanour and everything.
It's the way he laughs, like stuff. But again, it shows you how smart he is as a character. Like he's got all the grenades and his jumper, his jacket, his suit jacket thing, and all that to so that they can't get him. He's thought every avenue through. He's like, I'm walking into this room on my own. I need to be prepared, and he's thought of every possible outcome, cover himself, and he does that throughout the entire movie. Like that's his thing. He's covered every scenario, and he knows the people so well. Like he knows Batman so well. He knows everything.
Also the other one with Harvey Dent in the hospital scene as well.
Yeah.
He's trying to make himself out to be this stupid guy. He's not got a plan and all that, but he clearly has. He's just fooling him in front of him.
He's manipulating him. He is turning him from Harvey Dent to Two-Face. He's manipulating him into becoming that person to seek out the revenge and stuff like that. And you can see it. You can see her, obviously and I love what's the actor's name now? Aaron Eckhart. Yeah, he's great in that scene. So he constantly tries to jump for him, and he's chained down and all that. And it's like he's really that. To me, that's the best scene he's in the movie.
Mm-hmm. Well, that wasn't in the script either. When he reaches his arm for him. Yeah, that wasn't in the scene, and so I think the way they were working it was Heath Ledger was kind of pacing back and forward in front of the bed. Before the scene, like in character, obviously, like murmur and things like that. And then when he releases his hand and then he goes to the other side of the bed, Aaron Eckhart just goes for him, just an instinct. It's just like part of the method or something like that in the scene. And he wasn't expecting it. And then Heath Ledger does the same, and he grabs his arm and stuff like that. So, and then when they got cut on that, he goes, "That's acting."
That's class.
Heath was loving it, So
and I think that's the thing. There was lots of stories that he was like method acting throughout the movie extent, and all that. But I think actually that was kind of made up as well because what's his name? So the character he kills with the pool cue, played by, I'll need to get that name now because it'll bug me all night.
The action star. He's in loads of...
He's in like a lot of kind of B
Spawn.
movies.
He was
Yeah,
Spawn
he's
as
in
well.
Spawn. Yeah. He's in a lot of B movies. Michael J. White.
Yeah.
And he's talked about him, and he said no, he was joking around, having a laugh off camera. Like, yes, he was dressed up like him, like all the time. Like, he came to set when even on days he wasn't filming, dressed as the Joker. He said,
Really?
but he said, but he's just Heath. Like, he's not jumping around like with a voice or anything like that. I think he just wanted to be in character around everyone and seeing everything that's happening to kind of help him mold his character into what he wanted to be.
I think it was also because he was looking to start directing. So he was like staying around on set and watching what Nolan was doing. So he was trying to pick up stuff because that's where he's seen his career going. And to be honest, he should have been like headlining movies from then. You know, he would be top billing for most movies after this.
He would have been a superstar.
Yeah, but I think obviously we lost him too soon. But performance was awesome, and he was awarded best supporting actor at the Oscars. But I think he's the lead. You know, like, why did he not get the lead actor? It is a Batman movie.
I was gonna say
he's a lead character. You know.
I don't think you're going to get the bad guy in the Batman movie getting the lead role. I know what you mean, though. I think it's difficult. It's difficult because I always remember there's like one of the supporting actors like recently won an Oscar, and like they were saying that their screen time was like 9 minutes or something.
All right, yeah.
And I was like, how can you win an award for 9 minutes on screen? Like, let's be honest here. Like, the movies are 2.5 hours long. That's not supporting. That's coming in to play a small part. I guess it is supporting, but yeah, it's kind of weird.
Obviously, he had his scrapbook and all that, and you're talking about him maybe going method. He obviously locked himself away for around like 6 weeks to get in the character and develop the voice and the tics and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
He then developed the tic because his prosthetics weren't quite working right, so he had to keep licking his face.
Yeah.
So he kept doing the lick because his prosthetics kept coming away.
It works.
But yeah, it works. It's brilliant. But like, when we're talking about him being method, he is at certain points throughout a scene, but then when he finishes, he's just like quiet and skateboarding around set and stuff like that. You know, just like dressed up like the Joker.
Yeah, there's videos of him like skateboarding around set and all that. It's quite cool. Yeah. I think as well, like he had a big hand in developing the look of the character as well. So he worked with the makeup and the art department and all that. And like, it's a small little thing as well. Like, he's got the makeup on his fingers because he's like, well, I've put the makeup on. Like I've not went somewhere to get someone to put this on me. Like, the character would have put it on themselves, and I quite like that because you don't really see that in other movies, like where people wear face stuff. Like, it's
not like, use brushes or whatever, but you know, he's clearly just doing it like with his hands and stuff. I mean, obviously there's makeup artists that have done it, but he tested it and like that's the way he developed it, and that's how he wanted it to look. So yeah, it makes sense for it to be on his fingers. And
I love that Nolan let him do that as well. Like, a lot of directors could be quite controlling of what they want because they'll have a vision and they're like, no, I don't want you to look like that. And I think, like, I've heard it quite a few times from a few actors say, like, they come in and Nolan's like, yeah, roll it, let's go, let's see what it's like, let's try it. And if it doesn't work, he'll give them tips, pointers, or whatever he's looking for, and they might change it. But or as they call it, is it director's notes or whatever they call it?
Aye.
What's the worst note?
It's a discussion.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's a discussion, you know, a back and forward. It's a creative environment, you know, and then no idea is a bad idea, you know.
That's it. Yeah. I say I'm a creative by trade, so I'm like that's it for me. It's like, yeah, there's too many cooks can spoil the broth, but like, yeah, 2 or 3 people trying to develop something. Yeah, like, everyone's, no idea is a bad idea. That's the thing. They might not be great, like, but give them a try, test them out, see what works, see what you think is working. I mean, ultimately, everything that's creative is based on other individuals' tastes. You've no idea. You're doing it on your taste, but it might not match up with anyone else's. So it's a bit of luck here and there. But yeah, no, absolutely love the Joker. Think he's phenomenal in this. Heath Ledger is phenomenal in this. Fully deserving of the Oscar. They shouldn't even have
100%.
had. They shouldn't even have had other nominations. Just he's the only person
Give him
nominated
it.
for it. Yeah. Like it wasn't a contest. Like yes, he obviously passed away before the awards, but like yeah, you could just tell like all the other actors are sitting there and they've got them on screen and they're like, and Heath Ledger. Yeah.
It was so successful as well. That was the other thing. So
Yeah,
like
brilliant.
made over $1 billion. So
Yeah.
but there was one more fact that, or we're not sure if it's a fact or not, but there was somebody on TikTok, Jasmine Cinecultured. She
Okay.
posted a TikTok saying that she thinks it was the Joker. See in the dining room scene where Bruce Wayne and
Well, I know this.
all that are at the dining table,
Yeah.
and it's you either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become the villain. It looks like Heath Ledger is in the background. You can see the back of somebody's head that looks. Is it?
Yeah.
Is it definitely him?
I've seen it before. Yeah, it is him. I don't know if it was a documentary I seen or someone from the cast talking about it, but they were like, yeah, no, there's a few scenes where Heath's like in the background, like he's obviously not got the makeup.
Yeah.
And he's just dressed like a normal person, and yeah, like there's
That's
one
cool.
or two scenes where he's at, but yeah, that one is definite, from what I've heard as well. So that's quite good though.
That's
great.
Cool. It was confirmed because I had no idea, and it's all these little things that you just find out later on that just makes it so great.
Yeah.
And then there was one more. It was when he was the nurse and his badge had Matilda on it. That's his daughter's name.
Was it?
So cool.
That's quite cool. That's a cool wee thing.
Yeah. Anyway, let's go on to one that you like.
That I like. So
yeah.
I like. So there's a few things that I love about the movie, but in particular, I'm a big fan of the cinematography of Nolan's movies, and I love that first scene. See that, like you were saying earlier, the prologue or whatever they call it. It's so good. Like the music, the cinematography, just the pacing of it as well. Like it's so good. And at that obviously iconic scene of the Joker getting picked up, where it's just behind him and he's got the mask next to him, like by his side and stuff. Absolutely, I just love that entire scene. Which just
me too.
It sets up the movie, and it's like I take it the Joker told you to kill me or whatever it was, and he's like, no, I killed the bus driver, and he's like, what bus? I love it. And then obviously you've got William Fichtner, who obviously is a pretty good. He is a good actor. He's a big actor, and he's got such a small part, but it's just excellent. Like, is he out? Yeah. he jumps up, nearly gets shot again. And
saves him killing him in a minute, anyway.
Yeah, but just that, like, see, he puts a smoke grenade in his mouth, and it obviously pulls out, and it just goes. He goes,
yep.
Oh. I was like, I quite like that. It was a cool wee kind of joke to end the scene. But
the
whole
intro and the ending, I think, are the best bookends of a movie ever. Like, I'm kind of biased now. I've set my scene. I'm kind of biased, but for me, the ending and the start are just incredible. Like that starting, like zooming in on the building. I'm always trying to guess which window it is because I don't watch it so frequently that I can count exactly where it is.
Yeah.
But I'm always like, which one is it? Which one is it? And then boom, it just flies straight into the scene. It's just awesome. Love it.
Yeah.
And then also when the Joker's standing there with his mask, there's a Spider-Man 3 poster in the background as well. So Spider-Man 3 exists in the Nolan verse.
That's quite good. What was I say, like, so that scene is, it just sets up the entire movie, and I love it so much. And I think to touch a little on the music, like the Hans Zimmer soundtrack is phenomenal, and that along, it's used so well along, and I think the pace of the movie is ridiculous. Like, it doesn't let up. Like, there's very few, like, obviously he goes to China, and then he does this, and then he does that, and he does that. There's about 9 action set pieces in this movie, like, and they all last like 20 minutes. Like, it's kind of weird. Like, the only let up is like Bruce coming in with the models in the penthouse when they're doing with Harvey. That lasts about 3-4 minutes, and then the Joker arrives, and again you've got another set piece. The whole pacing of the movie is perfect, and I think the music plays a big part in that, because it gets really loud and then dunce. It gets low, high, as you say, building tension. And I think those two together are just brilliant.
Especially with those little notes as well that he's like Zimmer played piano with razor blades, like the piano strings. That's how he created those sort of like the notes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then the guitar with shards of metal. That's how he created those weird sounds that are like the Joker theme, basically. And it's just bloody good.
So that's very similar to what's his name that does the music for. So he does the music now for Nolan.
Ludwig Göransson.
That's the one, Ludwig. He has a lot of like. It's a lot of weird instruments he uses for his music. Like, I always remember watching a wee documentary from The Mandalorian, and how he came up with that theme tune and stuff. And it's very similar to that. Like, it's a weird way, like, you think of him making music. You would think, just drums, guitar, keyboard, like, or piano, or whatever, saxophone or whatever. But yeah, how they make the sounds is phenomenal. But yeah, just Hans Zimmer's my goat when it comes to soundtracks, so I absolutely love this. I absolutely love it.
I think for me though, the cast probably, we obviously touched on the Joker, but the rest of the cast as well. I mean,
it's just stacked.
It's stacked, and everybody's just playing it so well. And when you see like the people that were potentially up for the role, or like in the final run-in for them, there's like Rachel Dawes was Rachel McAdams and Emily Blunt. And I still think Maggie Gyllenhaal is probably the best fit for it, but I think those two actresses are really, really good. And then Harvey Dent as well. But Harvey Dent, the first choice was Matt Damon. Funny enough.
I remember that, and he turned it down, didn't he?
Yeah.
I think, because I always remember him talking about it, because he was like, I had to turn down a Nolan movie, and I thought I would never get another chance. And that's why he does a really small part in Interstellar, because he's like, I just want to work with Nolan. I want to get on his roster. That was basically it. Sorry.
He's awesome. He's one of my favourite actors as well. Yeah. And then the Joker as well. So obviously Heath Ledger was the first choice, but there was another 2 actors who were up as well: Hugo Weaving and Sam Rockwell.
Sam Rockwell, yes. Hugo Weaving, I'm not convinced, and but I think Sam Rockwell, it'd have been a different Joker, but probably a bit more playful, and a little less dark. But I think it would.
I just don't think it would have been anywhere near as good though. So
no.
I'm glad we went with the first choice, and it worked well.
Yeah, but it's even the like the secondary actors, like. Cillian Murphy's got a really small part in it.
Yeah. Again.
Obviously, you've got Morgan Freeman. Again, he has a semi-small part. You've got Michael Caine, who's obviously a Nolan regular. Even like Anthony Michael Hall. Like, obviously, he was a lot more famous when he was younger, but he plays like the news reporter. Obviously, we talked about Michael Jai White, and then you've also got Eric Roberts plays like the mob boss.
Yep.
Like,
Maroney.
Maroney.
Was it Maroney?
Check it. Yes, Maroney. Yeah. And it's well, we obviously talked on William Fichtner as well. Like the cast is ridiculously well cast, and it's weird because I would say that the majority of them are not big name actors. You could probably argue that Morgan Freeman and Gary Oldman were, and obviously Christian Bale, Michael Caine. But like Aaron Eckhart, I think at the time this is probably his biggest role.
I don't remember seeing him in anything before this, to be honest, when he got cast in this. But then obviously I've seen more of his stuff like Battle Los Angeles, and he's never done anything like it though since. So I don't think he's never really
he hasn't
hit the highs of this movie. But I've not seen Thank You for Smoking yet, but I think that's what kind of earned him the role, the casting sort of thing.
Yeah. So. Currently at the moment he's in his Liam Neeson stage, doing all these B-movie action movies. So kind of direct to DVD as back in the day. There's just digital streaming
now.
Streaming, but he seems to have the odd wee franchise that they make 2 or 3 of and stuff. But he seems to churn out like 2 or 3 of them a year. Low budget, but yeah. The cast is absolutely stacked. I'm just looking through. I've got so many notes here.
I may as well. See, we were talking about the cinematography and stuff like that. The IMAX scenes, I don't know if the copy you watched is like the 4K or whatever, but as soon as that screen expands, I'm like locked in. I want to see every detail. It looks unreal. Like the action scenes with that tall screen, you get so much more of the action, and it's just incredible. Like, and it was obviously the first major blockbuster to have these cameras used. It started a massive trend, but you can see why, because it's just like, I know people moan about the constant format changes and stuff like that, especially like where Bruce is like driving the Lamborghini and things like that, and it just goes from tall to small to short and all that.
It's a bit jarring.
I still
sometimes.
love it. Yeah, a little bit, but I just think it's incredible. Like even with the plane comes in when he's on the boat with all the ballerinas and that, and it's just like one shot just to the plane coming in. It's worth it for just seeing that extra horizon and everything, you know.
Yeah, the best movie to deal with those transitions I've seen is Mission Impossible Fallout.
Yeah,
they do it.
That's the best one.
Yeah, but they tend to do it when there's a zoom in and the screen gets bigger as it zooms in, and so you don't even notice it. Like, it actually took someone telling me that. Did you realise that went from like this to that? And I was like, oh, so it does. It's so well done, and like to your point, just maybe not having that kind of jarring jump from size to size. Like, try and transition it a bit better. But that's on editing, I guess.
Yeah, and it's an experience as well. You know, it's over time people have developed this, and you know, they try not to make it as jarring now. So
yeah. I think as well, like the going back to like scenes that I loved. That like I think there's so much in this movie, but you touched on it earlier about the chaos and everything like that, and I think the monologue from Alfred to Bruce when they're in the bunker, where he talks about like some people just
Burma.
Some people just don't. Like, there's no reason for what they do. Basically, like it's just they thrive on the chaos. And how do you beat that? Like, how do you beat someone who just doesn't care? Like, that's like they're not trying to do anything other than just cause chaos. And I think that's good. It kind of sets up the Joker and what's to come in the movie. Although a fair bit's already happened by that point. But yeah. And I say, like,
you've sort of just experienced them, like you've seen them, and you just can't quite work them out at that point. So that kind of helps you kind of develop how it's going to go going forward, like how you're actually going to tackle this guy. It's not just like beating him in a fist fight, you know. There's a lot more to it. So,
and it's good, like that. Obviously, that scene's kind of part of like Batman being a detective, because obviously that's kind of what the comics have him as, is like the older comics. I don't read the comics, but like obviously from what I've read, like he's as much a detective as he is an action person, and I think that's the kind of series. Obviously he dissects the bullet and figures it all out and gets the fingerprint and stuff like that. I mean, it defies a bit. It does defy a fair bit of logic, but
that's one of my dislikes anyway. That's for sure.
Yeah. It's that. Yeah, it's the one thing where I go, really. really? But you kind of roll with it. You just roll with it.
Yeah, it's what it is.
And one of my favourite things is just how he just constantly disappears, Batman. So like we can go from the Joker to Batman. Just disappears all the time. Like obviously they got
he does that.
and that's the one line is like obviously Harvey Dent's called him and so like Gordon kind of gets there eventually and he turns around to Gordon and says he's like he does that. So good. It is so good. But yeah, I think I just go from scene to scene, to be honest. There's so much about
there is.
the.
I mean, I've got a list of scenes like obviously the ones we've talked about already, like the intro and the Joker hanging upside down and all that. Harvey Dent and the Joker in the hospital, the destruction of the building. Then at that point, after they've had that interaction, it's constantly building. There's like so many different things going on, and then there's like the lorry chase, and then the bat pod, and then the lorry flip. It's mental. There's so much going on.
Yeah. So see in the hospital. So like see how he goes like that. That actually happened. Like it was supposed to go off and it didn't. And he was like, and he just kind of kept rolling with it, and that's how they got that in the movie. But that's an actual building they blew up. So like,
it was like a candy factory or something, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was due to get demolished, and they like got in touch with them. Obviously, they kind of themed it up like the hospital, and then blew it up for them basically. But like again, that shows like Nolan in terms of like the practical stuff. Like it'd have been so easy just to do that CGI, but because you can actually see the building collapse, it's a million times better than CGI.
It's more impactful, you know.
Yeah,
it's like,
exactly.
And the sets as well, like talking about practical effects and miniatures. Obviously, the miniatures where they're doing the tumbler chase scene and all that sort of the garbage truck. They obviously couldn't crush somebody driving a garbage truck, so they had to do that in miniatures. So that works so much better because it's done that way.
Yeah.
And then like the final fight as well, that was in like a construction site, so it was actually Trump Tower in Chicago.
Oh, is it?
Funnily enough, a villain's tower. But did you actually? There was another set as well, which I found quite interesting. I found this fact out. Bruce Wayne's penthouse, you know, the bedroom, not where they have the fundraiser, but his bedroom where he's like sitting with a cowl on his lap and stuff like that. That's actually the same set as they did the press conference for Harvey Dent doing the "I am Spartacus" type thing.
Is it?
It's the same set, but it's filmed from a different angle. So it's actually on the ground floor. His penthouse is on the ground floor.
But yeah,
but it's
when
filmed
you see it,
up the way.
yeah,
so
I was going to say because like
yeah.
when you see the angle of him sitting on the chair facing out the window, and it's definitely like a low down camera with him, like as you say.
So you just see the buildings.
Yeah, so that's quite cool actually. Yeah, now that you think about it. Like,
and then obviously the press conference, you're kind of looking down the way or straight ahead, so you can see the ground. Whereas in the penthouse, you can't see it. So it's really, really cool. Like,
yeah. I think the camera work as a whole was great in this movie. Like I love to see again going back to the scene in the restaurant, and it's this constant changing dynamic, and the camera's turning and it's
spinning
zooming in and zooming in, and it's like it's kind of playing with your perspective of who's kind of on top here, like and stuff like that. But I love that, like just that constant turning. Who's part of the conversation, who's not, and but it cuts quite a lot as well. But yeah, no, I love just how they do that, and you have to think as well. Like, see, because they're doing that, they must have had to film that a lot of times. Yeah, because the cameras are like basically facing each other at times, so like they have to film it from different angles all the time.
Yeah, and when he comes in, obviously she's like talking to him. Like looking up at him, and then he's obviously looking down. So that's two different like filming locations. They then got them all sitting down after he goes, "I own the place." I'm sure they'll sort this out.
I love that. So he just pulls that card. He's like, "I'm sure they will. I own it." Just totally blasé. No, it's great. It's great. Yes, This is one of my favourite ones, and it's Morgan Freeman with the accountant. I love that scene.
Yeah.
He's like, so let me get this straight. You think that your client, one of the most wealthiest people in the world, spends his night dressed as a vigilante, beating people to a pulp, and your plan is to blackmail this person? Good luck. that was like
Awesome.
such a good way to handle that, because obviously I would imagine most people would kind of panic then, like, oh god, he's guessed it, la la, we're going to have to try and hide this. Whereas he's just like, yeah, good luck.
Yeah, Lucius Fox is so clever though, he's got a lot. He's brilliant. So, and obviously him in Hong Kong. Well, no, it's filmed in Hong Kong, but it's meant to be China. Anyway, but him in that location as well, he's really good in that. Like he's
with the phone and stuff like that.
The bat phone.
Yeah, it's quite funny. I quite like how he's like, Mr. Wayne didn't want to like feel like we were wasting your time and all that, and he's like, oh, only accidentally wasting it. And he's
laughing about.
He's like, good one. But yeah, no, that scene's phenomenal. There's so much about this movie that is great, and I think it's one of those ones where we could probably talk all night about all these. Yeah. And I think that's what's great about it. And there's so much that we could talk about that you just don't think of at the time. I guess we could probably just start going through some more stuff, but yeah. But yeah, I think like even the scene when Harvey Dent is kind of introduced, and he flips the coin, and straight away, like anyone who knows the comics, like knows that that's a hint towards Two-Face, and then obviously he's kind of the guy pulls the gun on him, and you kind of get to see like what kind of person he is, which is great. It's a great introduction, and I think that's the good thing. Like, there's so many people in this movie, but they all get ample screen time to make you feel something for them, to care about them. Like I think even the mobsters like Maroney, like Eric Roberts gets a fair amount of screen time, and obviously gets thrown off a building. He's like if you
and then a car crash.
yeah. He's like, if you wanna scare me, you're gonna have to go higher. Like, I wouldn't die from this fall. And he's like, that's the plan. Just drops him
on it.
I was like, that's brilliant. And it was unexpected, because you kind of expect him to do the same kind of thing he did in the first movie.
That's it, yeah. It's like you've got this history where you're thinking, oh, you'll just drop him and then pull him back up and stuff like that, you know.
Yeah. What about yourself?
Costumes as well, though.
Yeah.
Costumes.
That's
the new bat suit, so cool. Like,
yeah.
I mean, it's not got the same intimidation as other ones, like the one from Batman Begins or the start of this movie. But it's practical. You know, it makes sense that he needs to do that, and he needs to turn his head, for Christ's sake.
What I loved is that they kind of rolled with the points that people made out with the first movie. Like, Christian Bale moaned about like
how
like
hot it was, and he couldn't turn his head.
His turning circle, and they kind of used that as a plot point to make that change, which I thought was pretty cool. Like, they kind of played on what people like moaned about the movie, as if it was real life, and I thought that was really cool. Like, how they blended that into the story and stuff, and obviously fighting those dogs and stuff.
Right. And then obviously the Joker's got his costume, which is just like, there's so many amazing costumes in this, but I think Two-Face gets a bad rap. I think the CGI face work and all that, but I think it's awesome.
I think it's incredible.
It makes it look. I actually noticed today, like when I was watching it again, that it kind of looks like the cartoon one as well. From the animated series from the 90s. It kind of actually looks like that because his mouth goes up and all that. You know, it's so cool. I love it.
I've never seen an issue with it at all. I think it's like Nolan. I don't know how much of it was practical and how much of it's CGI. Obviously,
None of it.
seeing through it, CGI. Is none of it practical?
None of
Is it
it.
all?
They tried to do practical, but because obviously when you're doing practical effects, you're having to add on to the face.
Yeah.
You can't take away when you're doing practical. So they basically just shaved his head. On half his head was shaved, and then he just had points.
I was going to say, oh, the
face.
dots on his head.
Yeah.
I wasn't too sure whether they did some of it practically and some of it CGI. Just
no,
so obviously
I think they tried to do it.
You can see through his
initially.
jaw and all that. Yeah,
well,
so I knew that.
You can see his eye.
yeah. But yeah, I think it's incredible. Like it again,
so.
and that's the thing with Nolan. He very rarely uses it. So when you do see it, to me, he does it well. Like I think he kind of feels that it's a last resort for him. So he's like, well, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it well.
He also kind of hides it, like in the hospital as well. He's like, he's got his face turned, and then as soon as he goes to turn around, they cut away to Gordon's reaction.
Yeah.
So
and it's
you
just
only see at certain points.
Yeah, and that's part of that will be budget. Like if we show the face less, we don't have to do as much CGI. But again, to your point, with Gordon seeing it, I think it's as much about seeing the reaction as it is seeing the face as well.
Definitely.
And I think that helps build up to you. Oh, what does he look like? So yeah, nah.
But there was one more Joker actually fact that I was going to tell you about. I don't know if you know, but see obviously the mask at the start that he wears. It's actually the same mask that, well, not the exact same, but it looks exactly the same as Cesar Romero in his first appearance on the 1960s TV show.
All right.
Batman, as the Joker, obviously.
Yeah,
but he's wearing this mask in that first episode, and it's the exact same mask. Well, it looks exactly the same.
Like from the like the 70s TV show,
the Adam West,
the
Adam West 60s TV show,
I loved that as a kid. I absolutely loved it. Kapow, bang, and all that. Yeah, I loved that. I watched that. My granddad used to tape all that for me when I was a kid, and I spent a lot of my summer days there with it. But yeah, I think you touched on it earlier, obviously, about the practical effects with the underground scene. But I love the Joker in that scene the whole way. It's like he's having a laugh, like trying to shoot this rocket launcher at the car. But I think that whole scene is like absolute cinema. Like it's because you're like, what's going to happen? Like, surely if he hits that van with that rocket launcher, they're dead, like type thing and all that. And he keeps falling and stuff. And yeah, I just like it. Again, it's the music, the build up, the pacing, everything just on point.
Even the lorry with the S painted on the next to laughter. Slaughter.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
It's such a great introduction to it.
Yeah, and it's just, so cool. Again, like, and I know we talked about this quite a lot, but those are the subtle little things about a movie that kind of make it, if you know what I mean. Like, it's the attention to those little details. Like, the whole surroundings have been thought about, not just, it's going to be a truck but like, what will that truck look like? What can we do that adds to the truck and so on and so forth. So I think that's, again, just a little thing, but I love all that.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And like when he actually drives the truck as well, he's got the bullet holes in the front of the screen. They're like smiley face.
Is it? I've never noticed
it's
that
like
one.
Two eyes, and then they're like the bullets are obviously the bullet holes are like a smiley face, but it's kind of subtle. There's kind of more off screen, but like where it's framed, it makes it look like a smiley face and around his face when he's driving.
Yeah.
You'll notice that next time, man.
I'll need to watch that again for the third time in like 2 weeks. But yeah, I think, again, on the Joker, all the monologues about the scars are great. Yeah, it's just such a great movie. Have you got any more on your likes list?
There's just a few more facts and stuff like that. So, like, like as you're saying, the little details, like half of Harvey Dent's office is so neat, and the other half's really messy. Like his shelves behind Gordon, you see it like behind his head. Like half of it is like just little bits of paper or little folders that are all scattered all over the place, and the other half's are
Yeah.
like books, so neatly, precisely placed, just setting up that Two-Face sort of thing.
See,
And there was another.
I
What?
love that.
Sorry, Indigo.
I was going to say
Aye.
that again. That's a little attention to detail, like a subtle thing in the background that no one's probably going to notice, but like they're playing with it. Again, like I think it's in The Dark Knight Rises, to be fair, but when they have the statue of Batman, everyone is placed
That's right.
in the shape of the Joker's face.
Yeah, a big smiley
That's,
face.
yeah, that's so cool.
Yeah, there was one more sort of link to Batman v Superman, funnily enough.
All right.
There's a guy, you know, when the Joker comes into the fundraiser and Michael Caine obviously forgets his lines. I think it's widely reported that he had lines at that moment and he just totally forgot them.
Totally blanked.
Because he's meant to like bring everybody in and he's holding the drinks and stuff like that, but he just totally blanked because him and his seven dwarves, I think he called them in this interview, come in and they're like, and he just scares the hell out of him. But there's, you know, the guy that says, we're not intimidated by thugs.
Yeah,
He's an actual, what do you call it in America? You know, part of the government, basically. He's
senator.
a proper senator, aye.
Senator.
So he's a senator. He's an actual senator, and he just loves comics. So he came in on set and he said that line because he's an old guy, you know.
Yeah.
But he's also in Batman v Superman in the Congress scene, you know, when Superman comes in and then they blow up. But he's sitting next to Holly Hunter when she's giving that horrendous Granny's peach tea speech thing. Well, she's not giving that speech, but the Granny's peach tea's there. He's sitting next to her anyway. So,
that's
but
cool.
It's a cool link.
It's a cool
didn't know that until I sort of read
using
up
your
on
power to get in the movies in it.
yeah. But it's cool that the guy's really into it and he's, you know.
Yeah, can I get involved?
He was about to give him the story. Like he was going to say, "Oh, you look a bit like my dad." And then he goes off and sees Rachel Dawes. So, but yeah,
that's cool. That's cool. I like, see, like, obviously there's a lot of movies where people are like, I just love the franchise, just let me show up and be in it. Like obviously Daniel Craig is a stormtrooper and The Force Awakens and stuff like that.
Tom Hardy in all one as well.
He might have been.
I think he was in maybe the third one, but he got cut out or something. I can't remember.
Yeah, because like people like, so a lot of, like, again, like that guy's been given a line, in that scene, he won't have been paid for that. Like he's just showing up and they were like, and again that scene probably took days to film as well. It wouldn't have been a one and done type thing. Like he would, because obviously that's like, I mean maybe not, but like that whole scene as a whole probably took a couple of weeks to film, I'd imagine, or at least a week.
Because there are so many different set pieces. Obviously, on the balcony when him and Rachel are talking, you've got Harvey and Rachel talking about getting married and stuff like that. Then you've got the guys coming in, the Joker. You've got the helicopter coming in. There's all these different shots.
Story with the scars.
It'll take ages.
There's a lot going on. Yeah, that would have took a while to film. At least a week anyway to film all those kind of small bits. And it is only maybe 5-10 minutes on screen time. Again, like, well, there's one part in that I actually love as well, and it's horror farming, right? It really is, but I love horror farming. When like the guy he's got the shotgun and he's like, where are you going? He just grabs the shotgun and goes woof, and then just dismantles it, and then he walks around and like he's like, oh, you've got a safe room, and he just disappears, and they're like, oh, what?
Oh, you've got to be kidding me.
yeah.
That's so good.
No, that's brilliant. It's brilliant. Will we go on to some of our dislikes? I don't think we'll have many, but let's say
I've got a few.
some dislikes. So I've got one, and I think we've touched on this before with Nolan movies. Is the hand-to-hand combat is not the greatest. And at the time, I remember really enjoying it. But I think like now that you've seen how hand-to-hand combat really should be filmed in the last 20 years, it it has dated a little bit. Like I think in the scene in is it Hong Kong or China?
Well,
I think it's Hong Kong. Yeah.
it is
I know
filmed in
China.
Hong Kong, but it's
It's
meant
supposed
to
to
be
be
set in
China.
China.
Right,
Yeah.
okay. And I think obviously he does that hand to hand, and it's kind of very obvious that guys are waiting on getting hit
Yes.
rather than
Yep.
like it being a very organised thing. Or shot in
Like
a
they
way
all
where
just go at the same time.
yeah, like it's kind of a bit more. But even like in the penthouse scene, like you see him fighting a couple of guys, and the Joker's like, "Right now you go," like
Yeah,
as
yeah.
if that's a thing, and I'm like, "No, like he would just go." Like it's so I think just little things like that. I think the hand to hand combat is a bit clunky, and that's probably my biggest gripe. Just simply because it could be done a lot better, and I would love Nolan to maybe look at some action directors like David Leitch or Chad Stahelski, like even Sam Hargrave that does the Extraction movies, and figure out like get these guys in as like a secondary or like choreographer or whatever, like to come in and second director or whatever you call it, to kind of just help with those kind of things. Not to say Nolan's bad either. It's just if you want to level it up, like those are the guys you go and speak to these guys that really, really know how to film that stuff.
Yeah, it's not his strength. Obviously, his strength is elsewhere, but
yeah.
But you should be able to look at where your weaknesses are and go, right, okay, well, let's get someone else in to help with the choreography of this.
Yeah.
I'm not I've never done a huge amount of action films. I'm more into the cinematography and how the characters are interacting and all that sort of stuff. Fair enough. Just bring somebody else in.
Yeah,
Same
just
way
bring
he's
someone
writing as well, which is another one of the negatives that I've touched on it in the previous podcast about Batman Begins, but the female leads are poorly written in most of his films, and I've done a video on it as well where talk about like Inception and Dark Knight Rises and everything. They're so poorly written, and this is no different. But it is Nolan. We kind of know to expect it now.
Yeah, and like as I say with the directors, like Sam Hargrave, so like I really like the Extraction movies just simply because I think they're really well directed. But Sam Hargrave actually started out as Chris Evans' stunt double, and then became like an action choreographer for like the Winter Soldier and stuff like that. And then kind of started directing the action scenes in movies. So he's obviously quite close with the Russo brothers, and that's where he got his kind of break. And then his first feature was obviously Extraction, which I just love. I think it's such a great movie. And yeah, he was brought in by Lucasfilm to help with the action scenes on The Mandalorian. So they brought him in. It was either season 2 or season 3, and he kind of brought in to kind of help choreograph some of the action scenes because they were like, it's not Dave Filoni and that are like, that's not our strength. like let's get someone in who knows what they're doing with all that stuff. And I think it's cool. Like I follow a lot of stunt people on Instagram and stuff like that, and seeing them like out in the park with their mates or like in a studio, like on the mats, basically, like planning stuff, but they're also planning where the camera goes when they do certain things, so that it like you get the best angles for it, like either wide or tight or whatever. But I think there's going to be a lot of that in the future, where a lot of these kind of stunt people, like obviously I've mentioned 3, but I think that you might find there's more in the future because the age, and you can't do stunt stuff in your 60s basically. So you kind of need to diversify the stuff you can do. So but yeah, no, that's cool. Love it.
Yeah, I think I've got a few more little niggles, I guess, but
Yeah.
Bale's voice, I think Mel touched on it in the Batman Begins podcast that she hated his voice. But I found out that it's actually Nolan that changed it in The Dark Knight in post. So his voice, like when he was filming the scenes, was actually the same as Batman Begins. It wasn't as bad as it is in this,
But
but
he just
like
made
Nolan
it.
tweaked it and made it grittier and rougher in post.
Yeah.
So that's why it sounds a bit different in this one. But I still like
Interesting.
how the idea behind it, and also like that there's a wee sort of scene where Rachel falls off the building and he catches
Yeah.
her on the taxi. He doesn't
Huh?
use the voice then. It's like he doesn't
Yeah,
need
yeah.
to because she
I
knows who he
noticed that
is.
today. Yeah, I noticed that today. Yeah, yeah. And
But something else I noticed was like when he's like speaking to the Joker in the interrogation scene and all that, he's actually kind of squinting a wee bit so that he doesn't quite show his eyes, so that he can't figure out who it is. You know, so he's kind of
yeah,
like that a little bit. So it changes his eyes, so it kind of hides his real identity, which is really
yeah,
cool.
yeah. No, I love the voice, and as you say, the logic behind doing it makes sense. Like, yeah, because you can see half his face, so like if you can just change his voice, like it's a little harder to put the two and two together type thing. It's not like Superman where he just puts a pair of glasses on.
But I mean, I suppose like it's quite good in Superman where Christopher Reeve is basically just changing his whole body. Like he stands upright, really. Like he's it's a persona type thing, So
Yeah, he's more
that was
uptight
cool.
and more.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
And then
yeah.
Clark Kent, he's like kind of hunched over, and anyway. Some other things I don't like when the Joker was doing that when he's at the pool table and he's doing the story with Michael J. White and he cuts his cheek and that kills him. It's like, well, what?
Yeah, it kind
He's
of
going to
cuts
blade on his
away.
face and then he goes like that. Well,
Yeah,
that's not going to kill him. He's just
it
going to
cuts.
be like down there
Yeah,
bleeding for his face.
it does cut away, so you don't really know
It
what
does.
he's
So I
done.
don't know what he does,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
I don't know if that knife could go right through his head. Like.
yeah. But again, that could just be a, like not necessarily a budget choice, but just it's easier. It's easier to do it off camera, and not have to deal with blood splatter and all that jazz. Like it's just like he died and he just like plays dead when he pushes him over. So like from that perspective, and it works, I guess. Like I think from that, but yeah, I know what you mean. I know what you mean. Like it's like a potato peeler he's got or something. It's like next thing you know, he's like dead. But yeah, no, I get what you mean on that one. I get what you mean.
And the only other one was like the one we touched on earlier with putting the bullet back together to get a fingerprint. It was just like that is just absolute nonsense. And using a blooming machine gun thing. I mean, what kind of gun was he using in that little flat to shoot a guy? He wasn't using a fucking Uzi thing.
Well, he's using a 50 cal sniper rifle to fire it, and you're like, I don't think he's doing that. He wouldn't have a head left if he'd fired that in a room.
But you've just got to kind of go with it. It's the movies, it's not real.
Yeah, that's it. Like there's
a means to an end, but I think they could have done it a different way or something. It seems. I know they're trying to touch on his detective work and stuff like that, but that was just a stretch too far.
Yeah, I think in general terms, if you were watching a Batman movie and that happened, you might not necessarily think it's a stretch too far. I think because it's Nolan, yeah, and it's so grounded in reality, and that probably touches on my last kind of nitpick about the movie, which is like the Batpod, and like when he kind of bursts out of the tumbler. Like the back wheel just kind of goes, and I'm like, I don't know about that one.
I kind of get the physics because he's obviously on one side behind one tire, and then he jumps out, and then the tire from the other side of the front, like kind of goes in behind him, like it almost pulls it in, I guess. But I know what you mean. It looked a bit weird. And it is CGI, so. And
the same with when he goes up the wall and turns. I'm like.
Really? Yeah, that's daft.
I thought that was like, even when I first watched that in the cinema, I was like, oh, I don't know about that.
I liked the bit where he comes out the alleyway and the actual wheel, like the lights go like that, like flip round because he's going sidewards. That's cool.
That doesn't bother me in the slightest. And I think like the scene where obviously he goes dead low and he goes in between the lights and all that, like that. That's totally. Cool. I think it's just the whole.
And then the wall.
Yeah, he just goes up a wall and then spins round. And I'm like, have you seen the size of that thing? There's no way you're pulling it round like that. Like, it's just not happening.
Although I think it's meant to have it's meant to be like two arms almost, so like the wheel is on a swivel sort of thing. So
Yeah,
it does. There is a thinking behind it to make it work,
yeah.
but at the
There's
same time,
science
it
there.
looks stupid.
Yeah. And
It
that,
looks
but again,
stupid and it doesn't look right.
I think it's just because Nolan's Batman is so grounded. And I think there's probably elements of the first one you could say, little things like that as well, where he just stretches, where he's kind of based the whole movie and like where he's grounded the movie. It just stretches it ever so slightly. But yeah, those are my little nitpicks. I think we don't really have much bad to say about this movie. I think
No, absolutely not.
it's as close to perfect for a superhero movie as you can get. For me,
I mean, as I say, nothing's ever perfect, but
exactly.
for me, this is the best movie ever made. And
Best.
I don't think that's ever going to change because of how it influenced how I enjoy movies going forward.
Yeah.
Like I just obviously I'm like 4,000 odd movies now on Letterboxd watched, so it's crazy how many I've watched since this. Because I probably only watched I watched a lot of movies, but all the main ones, the
Yeah.
blockbusters, the most popular ones, nothing really out of my comfort zone. But when this came out and everything, and I just wanted to consume everything that inspired it. I've still not even finished the list, by the way. There was actually a list of movies that Nolan gave to the cast and crew before they started filming it. So you've got Heat,
Yeah.
obviously. We talked about that. It's like his version of Heat, basically.
Yeah. Like that whole the blue tone in the movie.
Yeah, of
Like
course. Yeah.
he
So there's
heavily
that. There's
influences
the
it.
Clockwork Orange, which obviously the
The
Joker's kind of
Joker.
influenced by that. King Kong from 1933. Don't know why that is.
I find it
I
weird.
think I've watched it, but I don't know if I've not watched it recently anyway.
I find it weird. Like a lot of directors, especially the older ones, like maybe like the Euro Scorsese's and stuff like that. They tend to like tell actors or whatever to watch like certain films and stuff, and you're like, how like cinema has changed since the 30s.
It has, yeah.
Like it has significantly improved, and I not to belittle any movies that were made in the past, but just in general the acting, the cinematography, not always, but like it
It's different. It's more
it's certainly
theatrical and
different.
things, I find. In older movies. That's why I tend not to like those kind of movies because it's the theatrical acting. But when they go away from that, I tend to like them a bit more. Like there's
Yeah.
one here that you mentioned, Cat People, 1942. I watched that recently. It was bloody awful. Like, well, not awful, but it looked great because it was black and white and it was like a horror sort of thing. The cinematography was amazing, but it was just such. I just hated it. Hated watching it. Citizen Kane as well. That's one of the list. But I love the cinematography in that. There's so many scenes which are so influential. There's like the one where he's the kids playing in the snow and it comes into the room and stuff like that. It's so cool. But the movie in general is just awful. Like
Awful. I haven't seen it
Rosebuds
myself.
or
I haven't seen
oh
it.
my
It's on
god,
it's on my watch list. I haven't got around to it.
it's
I know.
hard work. But
Yeah.
the visuals are stunning. Like
Yeah.
like loads
And
of
I
people
think
say it's the greatest film ever made, but I would argue with that.
I actually at the start of this year I made a video about people like asking people to recommend older movies because I was like I need to watch some older movies. Like I haven't watched a lot from before I was born essentially. Like from I was born in 80 at the end of 1980, so I've watched a lot from the 80s and 90s and so on, but I haven't really watched anything from the 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s. And a lot of people recommended this movie called Passport to Pimlico, and I was like, okay, right, I'll give it a go. I watched it, and it did. So it's all black and white. It's set just after the Second World War. I'm trying to think when it's from. It's like from 49 or something like that. And it took me probably 15, 20 minutes into the movie to adjust to the tone of it. It's very playful, very comedic. And once I kind of roll with it, I was like, do you know what? I actually really enjoyed it. It's really fun. It's daft, but it's fun. And I was like, yeah, I need to do more of this. But I think sometimes, again, you get distracted with your phone and stuff as well. So sometimes you kind of need to just go switch it off. Like I went on my treadmill and just walked for an hour and a half watching it. So I was like totally locked in on it and just walking away. And I think that's why I enjoyed it so much. So I'm going to try and do some more older movies. I've watched a couple this year, but I do need to get to those older movies.
Well, I've got one for you because I watched it last week. Harakiri. It's like top of the letterboxed, top 250 or 500 or whatever. Yeah. But oh my god, I loved it. It's a lot of dialogue and stuff like that, but the story is so gripping. Like it's and the cinematography as well is so incredible. Like the camera zooms in and out and things like that. It's really cool. And there's a few good action scenes. It's not anywhere near like Extraction or that, but you kind of go with it. You know, it is good. I think Harakiri, so good.
That's the thing. I think like I remember watching the French Connection a few years ago, and everyone talked about the car chase, and I watched it and I was like, and I was like, and I think, but then I need to think back, like they didn't have budgets for a lot of that stuff back then. They like obviously there wasn't really much choreography around stuff like that back then, and obviously that was actually filmed on a street where they just did it when they weren't given permission. So
it was crashing into cars and stuff like that.
Yeah, and I did. To be fair, I did watch the movie over 2 nights just because I fell asleep halfway through, and that's probably part of the reason I didn't enjoy it as much because it's like it's obviously very highly rated, and I kind of stuck it on stupidly at like 11 o'clock at night one night. And fell asleep halfway through. But I think it's one of those ones I want to revisit because obviously there's a second one as well and do it. But yeah, I just want to watch some older movies. I think it's good to expand your palette of stuff.
Yeah, and that's what this did for me anyway. It started me down a whole rabbit hole.
Yeah.
But yeah, you need to be in the mood for these movies as well. Some of them I'll watch, like the one that I keep repeating is La La Land. I bloody hate musicals, and I watched it like 3 or 4 times, and people were just still going on about it, and I was just like, just cannot stand this. First scene, I was like, nah, I'm out every time. But then I just got in, I was in the mood one day and I watched it, and I bloody loved it. Yeah. I mean, it's not one of the greatest ever, but it went from like half a star to 4.
So, it's a big jump. That's a big jump.
Is. So you need to be in the mood for these things.
Yeah, I think my issue is I hated the Demon Barber one with Johnny Depp so much that it's put me off musicals for life. Like I haven't watched La La Land. I just can't bring myself to watch it because I know it's a musical, and I'm like, I'm not going to enjoy this. And I know that's a total daft mindset to have, but it's just one of those. It's just destroyed my love. And I watched a lot of musicals when I was younger, like Grease and stuff like that. I loved them all.
Yeah, pretty good.
But yeah, absolutely. I've never. I was in a cinema screen, and by the end there was like 12. It was sold out, and by the end of the movie there was 12 people left in the screen. Like it's one of the worst movies. It is the worst movie I've ever watched.
I think it's up there on mine.
Yeah, and I kind of want to watch it again just to punish myself.
Aye, maybe just see if it is really that bad. I kind of refuse to watch Johnny Depp movies now, but I think Bewitched is probably my one that I hate the most, though, because I was expecting better. Will Ferrell and Nicole Kidman. I just hated it. I absolutely couldn't stand it. But maybe that was just the mood I was in at the time. I was expecting Anchorman, and I got something completely different.
So, anyway. I was going to say, would you recommend this, Ian? But I think we know that that's a hard yes, since you've said it's your favourite movie of all time.
Absolutely. If you've not seen this movie, what the hell are you doing with your life?
Yeah,
just get it watched, and
yeah.
even if you've got something negative to say on it, just bring it. I'll
If
hear
you're
it. I'll hear it out.
if you're a film bro or a film gal,
Oh yeah.
you should have seen. I think everyone will have seen this. Like this is a movie that very very few people won't have seen. But yeah, same for me. Hard recommend. 5-star on Letterboxd.
I mean, I think it's in Hearted
so
as
good.
well on Letterboxd.
Yes, and
Gotta
Hearted.
get that heart
and
in as well.
Yeah.
But I think it's in the top 250 on Letterboxd as well.
Oh yeah, it'll be
I
the
think
top.
it's maybe top
Probably
10
top
or
50.
something, maybe.
Yeah, it'll be in the top 50 at least. Yeah.
I can't remember. I'll need to have a look, but I think it's in the top 10 or top
So,
15 or something like that. But
yeah.
I'm trying to work my way through those movies. But Harakiri was top of the list, so that did not disappoint. So
that's
yeah,
my issue.
If you're a film fan,
Letterboxd.
watch it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's my thing with Letterboxd is like it does lean a little less away from general people and more to film buffs. So I tend to lean on the average ratings in IMDb a little more, just simply because it's more the average Joe that uses that. But I love using Letterboxd. It's awesome.
I think it's sort of where it is in the number. So say it's 3.0 or something like that. That's round about normally. It's the same as IMDb, really.
Yeah, it's not far off. Like I looked at a film that I was going to watch yesterday. I ended up just finishing off a TV show instead, but I had a quick look. I'd never heard of it. It was from like the 80s, and I went on, and it was like, I think it was like a 3.2 on Letterboxd, and it was a 6.4 on IMDb. So it's like it's more or less the same thing. Yeah. And I think that is the case. I think there's not much deviation between them. You might get a few points here and there, but for the most part, they're pretty close, to be fair.
It's Rotten Tomatoes you've got to avoid, though.
Oh yeah,
they're all over the place. Like,
I don't even go near it.
I don't trust anything that's happening there now, because you've got like the audience score. It's like a trusted audience score, but how are they trusted more than the normal? Like if I go and rate a movie, how am I not trusted?
Yeah, I don't. It's weird how they do it as well. It's like, essentially, would you recommend the movie or not? That's pretty much it. And then it's the percentage of people that said yes or no, and you're like that's a really hard way to judge it, because like a lot of the time when I watch a run of the mill movie, something like between kind of 2 and 3.5 stars, sometimes I'll just go, yeah, it was alright. And be like, is that really me recommending it?
No.
And it's like, so you're like, would that be a yes or a no on Rotten Tomatoes? I don't know.
But I mean, like Anchorman, I can't recommend that to everybody. Not everybody's going to like that kind of humor. So it's like
they should.
Well, yeah, stupid humor, but yeah. But that's my favorite comedy.
See, I say
you
can't recommend
that to
first,
everybody. Like I can't recommend that to my dad. Like he's not going to find that funny in any way.
My dad is the worst for recommending movies too, I swear. Like, my dad likes essentially anything that's Die Hard.
Jason Statham movies then.
I swear, like, see, when I was younger, like probably late teens, early 20s, and I stayed with my parents, and my dad religiously watched the same 4 or 5 movies every weekend. Like Die Hard, Die Hard 2, Die Hard 3, Armageddon.
Die Hard 3 is awesome though. So is Die Hard as well. They're both brilliant movies.
All 3 of them. I like all 3 of them.
I couldn't watch them every month though, I need to space it out. I
swear. Like, I would come in, like, from football or whatever, and come in and he's sitting watching Armageddon and he's rhyming it off word for word. Like, it honestly, it was ridiculous. I think the only movie that I've recommended recently that he's enjoyed is F1. I told him to watch Top Gun Maverick, and he got halfway through and he was like, that was a lot of shite. And I was like, what? It's probably the best movie released this decade.
Yeah.
Yeah, Maybe not for you, but it is for me.
Yeah.
But
It was really good, like.
But he's like, he's so hard to please. Like he's got a really weird taste in movies. He likes sci-fi though. Like it's,
Alright.
I can get him to watch some sci-fi. iRobot's another one he watched all the time. Like he's.
I did watch that religiously when I was younger on DVD, but kind of.
Yeah, I watched it again
now.
recently. I watched it again recently, and I was like, "Oh my
It's
god,
alright.
this is so close to reality now."
Aye, with those damn robots that are doing
the Optimus robots that are coming from Tesla are supposed to be next level. So,
have you seen the ones doing the running, and then he slams into a wall, and then he falls backwards, and then sparks fly. That was hilarious.
They had the robot Olympics last week in China.
Aye, that's it.
But yeah.
Anyway, we digress.
Yes, we digress. We digress. I hope you enjoyed this week's episode on The Dark Knight. You can follow us on the socials. I'm at the Moovees. Ian is at film_pundit. And the podcast will be on all the usual places: Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube on Friday. See you next week. Hopefully.
See ya.